think very satisfying after obviously a couple of hard days, and fought our way back throughout, and I thought our effort through 4 days and to get ourselves in a winning position today was nice to get reap the benefits from that, I guess. And I don't think it would have happened as quick. Didn't think it was going to happen as quickly as it probably did, but fantastic that we're able to find ourselves back into a position where we're able to win a game of cricket.
Just on your own performance, in the second innings, how did you find adjusting to English conditions in the Test match and playing in a crowd like that?
Yeah, happy with the way I started. Obviously disappointing not to go on in the first and second innings. I was a bit flat about leaving Steve out there at the time, and fortunate enough that the tail were able to stay with him because I felt like he was in tremendous form and looked like he could do what he did in this game. So extremely frustrated to obviously fantastic to build that partnership in the first innings, and then not to go on it was tough, but the way I've been able to start in both innings, I guess adapt to the conditions. I've been lucky enough and fortunate enough to have a few hits in English conditions, I guess, in the A tour. So hopefully, I feel like I'm in good touch. We've got the tour match this week and then the second test. So for me, it's about continuing to do the basics really well and trying to capitalise when I get the opportunity.
Trav, you had two partnerships with Steve Smith. The first time you had it in Test matches. Obviously, your Test career started in a batting lineup that was unfamiliar to a lot of Australians. How significant was it for your own batting that you were batting with a bloke up the other end who was an immovable object, and you didn't really worry too much about?
Yeah, it's extremely
falling.
Yeah, it's nice. Obviously, I feel like I'm getting a nice rhythm with him at the other end. He's not going anywhere. Well, obviously in this test, but I guess I've tried to pride myself on making a contribution and trying to have really good partnerships. I think I've been able to do that in my early career, I guess, and that's all I was concentrating on. Walking out there in the middle on day one was about able to build a partnership. Stephen was the guy at the other end and was trying to build that and get the momentum back. So we're able to do that. Disappointed that we weren't able to do it for long enough and really put him on the pump. But when I got my chance in the second innings, the partnership again, we were in the same sort of position. So yeah, I was really happy with the way we were able to bat as a partnership. He's obviously in great form. It's nice to stand at the other end and he takes a bit of pressure off myself, obviously, is trying to think of some plans to get him out. So I went a little bit under the radar, which was nice. So hopefully a little bit more batting to do in the next 4 tests together.
You've played in front of bigger crowds, but something about an Ashes test in England?
Yeah, definitely felt the buzz out there when they're charging it on day one, and then same again last night. So the night before, sorry. So yeah, it was special. It was always nice to take it in. I was just trying to concentrate on what I needed to do and didn't try to get too up and down and emotional about it, but it was nice to take it all in. I've spent a lot of time out in the boundary in the last 5 days, so I got the full experience.
Did you get any good interaction?
Oh, they weren't too bad. They were pretty good today. There wasn't obviously as many in the crowd today, but no, it was good friendly banter between. I didn't really give them a lot. I just sort of stood there and kept my head down and tried to. A lot of it got passed over my head, but
to David,
obviously the crowd were really good. Obviously, I think the guys reacted really well to it. I think they took it all in good nature. So it was all in all a pretty good 5 days.
Those little ditties get inside your head. Do you find yourself singing along?
No, not me. There was a few, but obviously a pretty catchy couple of tunes. So no, they kept you entertained throughout the 5 days. Obviously, it can be quite lonely out in the boundary for most of the time. So it was good to watch them and see them run around the stands, and there's a couple of good costumes getting about. So it kept us very entertained for 5 days.
So it's going to be quite different for a midweek tour again in Worcester, but you've got a bit of experience there. What can you expect both conditions-wise and game-wise?
Yeah, I don't think it'll be quite the same atmosphere, but no, I'm looking forward to getting back to New Road. We missed a chance when we were in the A tour to obviously play there, but again, probably a similar quite type of wicket. Probably it was quite slow and quite good for batting. So hopefully they do the same as that, and I think they'll field a pretty strong team. I know that they're in the mix of one-day cricket, but I think they've got a few guys who are more red ball cricket players than they are white ball, so they've got a little bit of a split divide in that. So I think they'll have some guys that obviously are biting at the bit to get into the red ball cricket again, because they've got some 4-day cricket coming up. So I think that they'll field some. Their bowling side will be pretty used to bowling with the red ball, and I hope they field a good side. So I'm looking forward to getting back.
Again about batting with Steve Smith, he seems to have so many conversations with himself while he's batting. Like, what is he like from the non-striker side? Like, what are the conversations like? Like, for example, if you're having an issue, can you go up to him, or is he just so much into his own batting that it's very difficult to break that zone?
No, very relaxed. There wasn't a lot said between us. And I think that's with a few of the guys. I'm a pretty relaxed character as well, and don't sort of talk too much. It was only little bits and pieces we'd talk about. It's more so staying sharp and staying on the ball and making sure we were making the most of it. Yeah, not a lot was said between us. It was pretty short, sharp and shiny, so very relaxed, and yeah, he goes about it his way, and extremely, I guess, mental state's extremely strong, and then the way he batted, he was able to show that for the amount of time he was able to bat. But in the partnership, he's fantastic to bat with. He obviously sucks the momentum out of the opposition the way he batted in this game, and it was nice to be at the other end with it, and nice to build a couple of really good partnerships.
Travis, were you comfortable with, I guess, the balance between attack and defence that you found in each innings? Because you sort of came in at a time when, wickets had fallen, there was a lot of expectation of the crowd that all would, and you were sort of able to not so much silence the crowd, but you were playing a sort of proactive middle order game out there.
Yeah, I think I actually started pretty slow. Oh, well, not slowly, but yeah, I took my time to get, I guess, a rhythm in the first innings, and then the grounds are so quick here. We've spoken about you're not going to score you could not score for 3, 4, 5 overs, and you could hit 4 boundaries. So I think that's exactly how my first innings played out. I think I probably faced 20 balls without scoring, and then all of a sudden I was 25 of 30 balls. So yeah, it can happen very quickly over here. I found that out in the first innings, but I think both innings, I think the way I was able to play, I don't really remember playing a cover drive, which I think probably the way I've been going about it without thinking about that. All I was thinking about this game was being in the contest. I think I got caught a little bit in the mind of what they were going to do in the tour match when we played in Southampton, about working on things and trying to prove or show that I was working really hard at that, and it's coming off of my game. In the test, I was just worried about getting in the contest, competing hard, having really good battles against the bowlers. Their bowlers come really hard. I think their players get in the contest as well, so it was a really good battle. So yeah, I think I went pretty slowly and were able to get away with a few boundaries here and there, but yeah, I think it probably didn't reflect in the first innings how patient I was, and I was really happy with the way I went about at the start of the innings.
And on the flip side of that, do you think the team's been pretty successful in this game of not giving England's batsmen the opportunity to get those runs of quick scoring, overs where 2 overs for 20 runs, that kind of thing, where the boundaries are being hit?
Yeah, I think the only really time I remember us doing it was probably the couple of overs we had them on day one, where we probably chased a little bit. I think we bowled 2 overs to 10, and that was probably the worst we were at it. And we spoke about that and said we don't mind going for wickets, but we've got to make sure that we're consolidating and keeping the scoreboard quiet, because we know that if we can do that, there's going to be enough balls in the right area that enough balls will create opportunity, and then we can keep them at a low total. So I think that will be the same throughout the whole series. It's about the grounds can get away. I guess we've seen how quickly we scored yesterday and how great day we had yesterday. So I guess on the flip side of that is minimising how much they can score. As defensive sometimes it looks, but making sure we have our catches and know how we're getting wickets, but we can protect at the same time and build pressure that way. A couple of ones to the boundary is better than a 4, so I thought we had a really good mix between trying to get wickets and containing the scoreboard.
Do you like to go captain for a session or an innings or a match? Is that one of the contingencies you have to prepare for?
I'm prepared for anything really. I've no idea what we're going to do in Worcester yet. I think we'll just enjoy tonight, and then we'll work out what we're doing over the next couple of days. But yeah, at the minute I'm not really sure. I spent a lot of time out in the boundary, I guess. But when I was around, I was chatting to Tim, and again, we've got a lot of senior guys, a lot of experienced guys that threw a lot of information around. So yeah, the same won't change. And if I was needed to do it, if Tim was going to have a rest, or if Tim's going to play, or whatever happens, yeah, I'm here if needed.
You mentioned scoring quickly in the second innings a bit earlier. How key was a part of that was staying on top of Noah, and I suppose how much of the plan was it, and how important is it going to be looking at the rest of the series?
Yeah, very lucky to obviously have Steve at the other end in our partnership, and I think He's probably one of the best players to spin in the world. I definitely didn't have the plan of going after him. Obviously, it was a lot harder for left-handers with the spin, and I was just making sure that I was staying in and building that partnership. I think Wadey obviously has a reverse sweep in the bag, so he put a lot of pressure on him and played him beautifully. So I think for the left-handers it was quite difficult throughout the Test match, as that showed, and Steve probably put more pressure on him during our partnership than I did, and then Wadey, the flip side, obviously having reversed him a few times and putting on that pressure. But I think we scored beautifully against all the bowlers. I think it was an unbelievable day yesterday. I don't think anyone coming to the ground quite thought that we would be able to do what we did, and we in the dressing room we felt like we could do that, but I don't think to the extent of the runs that we were able to score over the trend of the 3 days and where the game was going. To go out and have a day like that just put us in a beautiful position.
Might be just a wait and see thing, but is it good to have a game so quickly after this Test match that you sort of get that going?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I guess I'm in a different situation. I've never experienced it, so I guess I'll lean on the senior guys, and yeah, it'll be nice. Obviously, 5 days is pretty taxing no matter what you do. I think if you get no runs, the mental state, I guess, of being up for 5 days and being in the contest and thinking about the game and sleeping and all them things, they add up. So there'll be definitely guys over the next 3 or 4 days that will obviously come off the back of that, and we've got to make sure that we're up and make sure that we continue to play really well and get something out of the tour match. And I'm sure all the batters want to go out and get runs, all the bowlers want to go out and get wickets. So yeah, it'll be high quality again. We want to keep the standard, and then we'll have 4 more days. I think it's 4 more days into the next Test. So there'll be a bit of time for relaxation, I guess, and a bit of time to reflect, but then we're making sure that when we step over the line, when we're playing the tour match, that we're at 100%, and we'll make sure we keep making improvements in what we can do.